welcome. I'm glad you're all here. It's a beautiful day.
Sure is.
Just up front, I was just sharing the apples on the trees. I don't want to ever pick because a lot aren't ripe and some have shelf life. People don't understand not all apples are the same. I have, like Honeycrisp. You don't eat this time of year because they store in my cooler for a whole year. I don't start eating those till next spring, summer because everything else is done by that. And so there's certain things that have certain time frames. And because I don't go to the store ever, and this is my food supply, it's kind of important that I have things in place to eat all year because, I don't use the store. And but anything on the ground, you're welcome to. And many on the ground are really good and sweet. There's people eating them can tell you that they're good, not bad. And they're full of water. And the other thing, a couple disclaimers I always share because I want to be sincere, is that I have absolutely nothing to sell, and this is not about me, really. I will get excited at times because I'm so blown away at what I'm seeing and experiencing, and I kind of get carried away. And it may look, I'm trying to, say, look what I'm doing, but I know this is not me. I'm not doing this. This is something about the earth having a skin, and I'm replacing the skin. And when the earth has a skin, it does abundantly beyond what you could ask or think. It's huge. And that's the nature of the creator who made it. He's really a good creator, and he really cares about his creation, and he maintains it very well. And he's given us everything we need in abundance. And it's simply understanding that the skin has the earth has a skin, and you don't take it off. What's been so pathetic from day one, the first creation of man, missed it, and has been taking the skin off, and we followed suit. It doesn't work. We're losing all the topsoil. Today we're all sick. All of our food tastes terrible, and we're not getting it. Minerals are the foundation to all of life. Did you hear me? The foundation to all of life are minerals. And in soils that people are growing plants that are taking out minerals and putting nothing back, the soil becomes mineral deficient. Simple math. And when you don't get minerals, you're not well. Your immune system is not supported, and you get sick. When you get minerals, the reverse happens. I had the most interesting experience yesterday. I don't usually do this on Saturday, but a group of people, 4 of them came down from Mexico, and we're in Victoria, and they were going to come today, but you see the last ferry going out is 5:30, and it wouldn't be time, so I had them come yesterday. I went and picked them up at noon when they showed up, and they came to my place at noon. This is lunchtime. They had no food. I'm walking down my driveway, and I see this fig, one last fig, and 3 of them ate it, were blown away with the flavor. As they were leaving at 5 o'clock to go back to the ferry, the man made a very interesting comment. He says, I came to your place at noon, I had no lunch, and I was hungry. It's 5 o'clock now, and what's blowing my mind, I'm totally satisfied, and I'm not thinking about food. And all I did was just sample produce, stuff in your yard, and I feel totally satisfied. And you know what I'm getting? I got this a week ago. I had a woman came here, spent a month. She came here sick and tired, literally. She's going to bed at 7 o'clock at night, getting up at 10 and always tired and sick all the time because the food's no good. While she was here, she was utterly blown away at how her health totally changed around. And she couldn't believe how little she's eating and feeling so satisfied. I mean, one night she took a leek and just sauteed up, and that's all she had for dinner. Just leek. And was completely satisfied. So she's eating this plum, and she makes a statement that really got my attention. She says, I buy comfort food, and I'll buy a quart of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. And when I eat it, I'm enjoying it, but when I'm done, I'm not satisfied. I don't feel good. I ate this plum, and I feel totally satisfied. And you know what I heard inside? The Rolling Stones were right. You can't get no satisfaction apart from God.
That's right.
The only place you get satisfaction is God and things He's made. Anything man made, anything man done will never satisfy. But when you get live food like this, you're satisfied because He created it to meet the needs of your cells, and it's all there. It's just so beautiful. If you haven't had some of the nasturtiums over here, pick them because they're really good. These flowers, they're really good. I want you to sample food, and because I want you to experience that everything you eat here is different than anything you've ever had in your life. I don't care where you come from. I'm 65 years old. I've been gardening since I was 5 years old. I've been putting 60 years into gardening. I kind of know what I'm doing. I used to wear out shovels as kids, spading for my dad. So I know the hard part of it. And as I'm experiencing this and experiencing this food, I know what I have here is something you'll never find anywhere else because of what it is. And so I want you to experience it and to get into your mind an adjustment that how I've been living is not right, and I should be living at a level of incredible nutrient density and satisfaction because that's how it was made. Let me show you some contrast here to give you some perspective. See these sequoia trees here? These are sequoia trees, and they're just young, they're just teenagers, 18 years old. If you look in close, you can see they're quite big, the trunks. But I want you to look at the color of that foliage on the tips. Miracle Grow 20-20-20 at any level can never do that. I don't care how much you use. Are you following me? Look at the color of that green. You know what maintains that? You know how that's supported? You see the needles on the ground? Those needles that you think in your mind are dead, funky needles are the most amazing fertilizer on the planet. You know what's so cool about the Creator? I just love his genius mind. You see, every fall, I don't know if you noticed, but every fall the Creator puts a covering of needles and leaves over the whole planet. Every fall. Notice that? But what's interesting, you see these conifers don't drop needles because they're evergreen. Are you following me? Those green needles never fall out. They stay there forever. So you know how he gets them to feed themselves? He sends a hot, dry summer, and you see inside in the interior all those brown needles? Come winter, he sends a wind. You know where all those brown needles end up? On the ground. The tree looks like nothing came out, there was no deficiency, no depletion, and all that stuff goes in the ground and maintains that beautiful dark green, healthy tree. I'm just telling you, this Creator's awesome. And you know the genius of the fall covering? Let me ask you, when do farmers who go to school and spend a lot of money to get an education and go in debt to do it, fertilize their farms?
Spring.
How stupid. Think about it. Fertilizer takes time to get to the root level via gravity, and they're planting in spring. It's not going to get to the root in time. The Creator in his genius mind does it in the fall, and then he sends rain and snow all winter to create compost tea that goes into the soil to build the soil for next spring's growth. What a great idea. And what's so cool about it, he's not working. He uses gravity to do all the work for him. When you start checking in and watch how nature works, you're blown away at the wisdom and genius of the Creator. I mean, it's awesome. Let me show you some contrast here. You see this rhododendron next to my sequoia tree? Anyone who has an understanding of trees, you know where you're standing is the ground is covered with roots from this tree. They're out here. For a tree that big, you got roots way out here. Thick. Anybody who's had a tree like this and had a plant like that growing next to it in dirt, it does not look like that. Look at the density of foliage, the health of it, and this has never been watered or fertilized all summer. And if you look close, look at the ton of buds. Look how many buds are on that. Getting ready to bloom this spring. I'm telling you, I'm a gardener, and if this was dirt, that wouldn't happen. And to give you some contrast, just look across the fence at my neighbor's rhododendron.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I just want you to get contrast here, to see perspective. You see, this has the skin. That doesn't. Now they put wood chips, but you see what's underneath? They put landscape cloth. How stupid. You see, the benefit from the wood chips never get to the plant because that landscape cloth stops it. And what's even more pathetic, they put landscape cloth to stop weeds, and the weeds are growing fine in the wood chips. So you see, this is the whole idea of being sent to school and having your brain erased. This makes no sense. The landscape cloth is ugly. All the ends are coming up. You can see it. It's not working. And they paid for that and put it down because they went to school and had their brains erased and don't think. I'm telling you, man, it's huge. You see this cherry tree right here? This is a Royal Land cherry tree that was planted 35 years ago. I was here when they planted it. That's 35 years old, and you can see the trunk there. It's stressed. And if you look at the foliage at the tops up there, you know it's tired. And just saying, you know, I'm old. I'm tired. Want to see something unique, amazing? You see that cherry tree right down there?
By the barn.
By the barn? That is a Royal Land cherry tree, exact same tree. What's amazing to me is that's 20 years younger. It's 15 years old. Look at the size and color of that. We're going to get up close. You're going to see the trunk. I'm telling you, it's 20 years younger than this one. Same tree. If you look at it, it's in the same space for lighting, growing in the same soil. That has the skin. This doesn't. See this Gautschi tree here now that's in fall color, losing its leaves? Guess its age. It's 9 years old.
Wow, I gotta say 15.
I'm just telling you, as a gardener doing this for 60 years, what I'm seeing here is blowing my mind.
Wow.
This is not like slightly different. This is like screaming loud, huge. Like, whoa. And what's really getting my attention, I'm not doing anything. I'm not out there, you know, feeding it and foliar feeding all this stuff. It just happens. I have to get out of its way because it's just going to do whatever it's doing in spite of me. I don't know if you realize the time of year it is, but here's something that's interesting. You know, not only do they erase our brains in school, but they lie to us. Everything you're taught in school comes from a basis of lies. Everything. And I'll explain later why. They'll tell you that I've had scientists. I had a whole suburban load of Washington State University people come here to my orchard in October, in January of 1990. Sunset Magazine, an article on my orchard. In that October, a whole suburban load of Washington State University professors came to see this orchard because they couldn't believe it. What was interesting, the sequoia trees weren't here then, and all my neighbors' trees, 50 feet off, were completely without leaf and deciduous, gone. All my trees are in full leaf, all color loaded with fruit, and saying like, wow. And they're eating this stuff and they're like you, like, man, this tastes good, look at the water. Then one of these guys, scientists, Washington State University professor, said, oh no, you're going to destroy your trees with wood chips.
Mom,
I said,
Mama,
what?
there was a
Destroy
picture
the
of in
trees
the
with wood
car.
chips? Oh yes, wood chips type nitrogen to make your soil acidic. And that's what they're taught in school. And so I said, sir, let's get real. I didn't go to school, but I'm not stupid. I'm really not. You see that forest out there? See that forest out there? That principle has been going on for the last 6,000 years of human history. That beautiful dark green, amazingly sustainable environment is maintained on 100% wood products. Needles, leaves, cones, broken branches, broken trees that no one rakes up. And you're telling me that what is working better than you're talking about is going to fail here? And what blew my mind, they couldn't get it. They didn't get it. They're walking off saying it's going to fail. So I had to ask God because it made no sense to me. And he told me, he says, the natural man cannot. You see, the things of God, neither can he know them because they're spirits. These guys are all here. And at this level, you'll never get it. You got to come here. You're going to find all day long today. Everything I'm going to tell you makes no sense here, but man, it works. It happens because it's spiritual. and the Creator's spiritual.